Hot off the press in the Origins Game Fair exhibit hall floor, we've got Panda Royale, an engine-building roll and write that has us all hooked.
Panda Royale comes from brothers Nathan and Jake Jean and was published through their own indie publishing company, Last Night Games. We've got to thank the brothers for hooking us up with one of their demo copies at the end of the con so we could tell you all about it.
This is a dice drafting game featuring over 100 dice in 7 different colors. It plays with 2 to up to 10 players, though I could see playing solo and just trying to beat your high score. Games are super quick, taking under half an hour, even just for that first learning game.
The mechanics in Panda Royale are super simple, and due to this, the game is great for gamers of almost any age. As long as you can add, subtract, and multiply, you can play this game, and if you can't, there's always a calculator.
So thematically, you are playing a panda elder who is attending the Midsummer Festival, which gathers all 7 panda tribes together. Part of this festival is a huge battle for honor and glory. And your task is to assemble your own team of panda warriors. Each of the clans is represented by a different color of die, and each has its own special way of scoring. Mechanically, though, the battle's played through rolling all your dice, scoring them, drafting a new die, and repeating that 10 times.
Yeah, the theme here is it's completely non-existent. This is a game about dice. Lots and lots of pretty shiny dice. And the only thing that says pandas is the panda head-shaped first player marker. The game has 100 RPG-style polyhedrons ranging from D6s up to D20s. It also comes with a 2-sided scoring pad, 2 bags to sort your dice, some pencils with erasers, and a short, clear rulebook.
Sorry, Ryan, no sharpener here. The component quality is a step above what you would expect, mainly due to the inclusion of 2 bags. One is smaller and is just used to separate the dice you need to set up at the start of the game, and the bigger one for all the rest. It's a nice touch, and it helps the game get going right away.
So a game of Panda Royale starts with everyone taking a score pad and 1 yellow D6. Each round, players will roll all their dice, then use the scoring sheet to total them. Yellow dice, I like to call initiative dice, since your total on those determines your order for the next steps.
There are pink D12 pity dice, which are handed out to the players with the lowest total score each round. Then if anyone has any white dice, they can trade them, not really trade them, more like steal another player's die 1 for 1. And yes, doing this gives your opponent a white die that they can then use to steal a die next turn, which can lead to a lot of back and forth.
Then a number of dice equal to the player count plus 1 are pulled from the bag, and each player drafts 1 die in order of their yellow die total from highest to lowest.
Now, as mentioned, the dice come in 7 colors, each of which scores differently. Those yellow dice, of course, help you draft first, right? Purple dice are just doubled. Whatever you roll, you double it. Blue dice are doubled, but only if you have a sparkly blue die, but just summed up if you don't. Green dice you just score, but they're all D20s. The clear dice are all D6s and only score what you roll, but then let you steal and trade with other players, as we just described. And while the pink dice you'll never draft, you earn them for doing terrible in a round and get a nice D12 to help give you a little bit of a catch-up mechanic.
The red dice are the most complicated. The numbers on them come in 2 colors, white and black, split evenly. To get a total for the red dice, you add up any white numbers you rolled, subtract any black numbers, and then multiply the total by the number of red dice you have. And yes, this can lead to a negative score.
And that's it. Roll dice, total dice, get a new die, and repeat 10 times. For the glory of panda kind?
I gotta say, I love the simplicity here. This has a weight of 1 on Board Game Geek. I would say it's probably a 1 point something, but it's definitely not a 2. So I don't think it may stay at a 1. Like this game is both dead simple to teach and learn, and it makes it very accessible to gamers of almost any age and honestly any experience level.
It is a very easy game to teach and to play. I don't love teaching games, but this one is just so simple. I would say it's a good pub game, but you do have to pay some attention, and the amount of basic math required could be a problem if you get soused.
Really, though, don't bother explaining the theme. It's not needed.
Now, what you may not get from that quick overview is how many actual important decision points there are in this game and how much player agency you have when playing Panda Royale. This sets it apart from most other roll and writes. This isn't just another Yahtzee or Quicks where you roll your dice and write down your score. This is an engine builder where you're going to be drafting dice to try to improve your pool with lots of options along the way. Like, do you take a chance on red dice hoping for a big score at the risk of maybe losing some points along the way? Or do you play it safe and just grab those purple dice every time they come up because they're guaranteed doubled every time? Should you try to build a massive pool of blue dice, making sure you have at least 1 or 2 glitter dice just in case? That way everything doubles? Or do you just get a bunch of D20s and hope you roll high?
At its heart, this is a push your luck game, but you get to choose how much you want to push and which path you want to take.
The different paths you push along are really the interesting part, and weighing risk and understanding bell curves can help you out.
I really like how Panda Royale makes it feel like the choices I make matter, even when the game is extremely random. It's like randomness is very much a thing here. This is a dice game after all, with lots of dice of different sizes. And unlike some of these games, there's no modifiers or rerolls. There's no Yahtzee. I get to roll my dice 3 times and decide which ones to reroll. None of that's here. You're going to roll once. And if you think you've got that perfect strategy and a ton of dice that are going to double every round, you could still end up rolling all 1s and 2s.
It is random. You are at the mercy of the dice. But like Mo said, there's player agency here, which I dig, and your choices matter. And you need to pay attention to what the other people at the table are doing, what they're going for. Hate drafting matters, even to an extent, bluffing matters. So it's not just a multiplayer solitaire where you're collecting dice and rolling them in front of you and writing them down.
Yeah, there are essentially 2 games at play here. One in which you have agency, choice. You can bluff, taunt, plan. And then the second part where you simply roll an ad. You can't have one without the other and still have a solid game, though.
Now, another bonus is that Panda Royale is very portable and can basically be played anywhere you can roll dice. For example, I brought it with me on our Canada Day trip to Amherstburg, and we were playing it while waiting for food, while sitting in the park, and more. By using the top and bottom of the dice as dice trays, we were able to play it pretty much anywhere we wanted.
Okay, that box top is a dice tray. That's good. I found when we were playing on the high top at the brewery that the large dice pools can get bouncy, particularly with enthusiastic throws. And you know, people's dice were getting a little mixed up sometimes or going a little too far. So I think dice tray, yeah.
Of course, if you've got more than 2 players, you'll want to have other options at hand for containing your rolls, as there is only the top and the bottom.
Yeah, but you can always pass it around. It's going to slow down the game a bit, but you can just take turns with it, which is what we ended up doing. So we first played this game at Origins Game Fair, and I had to convince Deanna to sit down to play it. I almost skipped over it myself, thinking it was just another simple math-based roll and write, one where you probably get to re-roll your dice up to 3 times. But once one of the designers explained the drafting mechanic and how each die scores differently, I was intrigued. I'm like, oh, the colors matter. Then after one game, I knew I had to bring this one home.
Yeah, I walked by the demo for this game at least 3 times. There was something about it that at a quick glance, it just looked unfinished. Like this was someone's prototype. So I was like, yeah, okay. And that's part of why I was skipping past it. But there is more to this game than appears at first glance. Like even some of the dice are custom to the game, like the red dice that have the black and white on them, and the various colors come in different sizes. And the fact that there's 100 dice in there and you're actually playing with all of this once you get to full player count. It wasn't just a gimmick to have a big bag of dice out on the table to draw our attention over there. That was actually the game.
Yeah, I'm really interested, and I wish I had had a chance to know about this game during the show, because I didn't get I didn't play it on the floor. But I'd be really interested to talk to the designers about how much time they spent in some of those online dice rolling calculators and looking at the bell curves and balancing, you know, a D8 of this plus a D12 of this, or versus only D6s of this. And looking at the balance of this game. While the game is simple to play, the design of this, there was a lot of math involved.
Yeah. Or maybe they just like threw it all together and went, yeah, this feels good. Let's go. I don't know. Might be something to ask if we meet with the designers next year and during con season. Now, what really shocked me about this game was how popular it's been. Like almost everyone I've shown it to has really enjoyed it. Like we brought it out to our last Brews and Board Games event at the Walker Bro Brewery here in Windsor. And the game was out at the start of the night and was played all night. It was one of the last games to get put away at the end of the night. And I had to convince a group to stop playing because the bar was closed. Like the game just kept getting played. Both our kids love it, with Genevieve asking me to play almost every day since we brought it home when she first tried it.
Okay, I'm going to be honest and say that while I like this more than I thought I would, it's still not really the right game for me. However, I can see how much other folks are enjoying it, so I'm calling it a winner.
I think this game stands on its combination of both depth and casual nature. You can sit with a drink and play this game, grabbing dice, rolling, having great conversations. And when it's your turn to draft, you take a moment, you survey the table, and all that information is right there. What everyone is aiming for, what dice are available to choose from. It's as perfect information as you can get in a random dice rolling game. This sort of perfect balance for casual and thinky really works for me, and what I'm looking for when I don't want a brain burner.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a light, easy to teach, easy to learn, quick playing dice game where your decisions actually matter, you need to check out Panda Royale. Unlike some other dice games we've looked at, this one actually features a ton of player agency.
One of the things I think we failed to mention is just how great the score pads are. They're incredibly clear and concise and easy to use, and you can basically teach the game just by handing off a score sheet to each player and telling them to follow along.
Though we are still hoping for a BG Stats custom version to make the math go away.
I don't know. This is one of those games where I'm like, hey, I'm starting to remember some of my basic math a little better. I feel my math skills have improved in the last week. I've regained some of that high school, grade school level. Now, the thing that's interesting here is if you dig engine building games, despite the fact this being a weight one game on Board Game Geek, I think you should check this out. Well, it's no Terraforming Mars or Furnace or Wingspan even. This does give you a feel of things ramping up. And you'll feel the impact of your earlier decisions on later turns. Like, man, I really probably shouldn't have invested in all those red dice. Something you just don't usually get from a super dice heavy game.
Yeah, the ramp up here is wild. Like from 1 die in round 1 to having 10 dice in round 10, and the amount you were scoring just really quickly cascades.
Now, if you don't like randomness, you're going to want to stay away. Come on, this is a game with 100 dice in it. What did you expect? While your decisions do matter in Panda Royale, while there is agency, this is not a test of intellect where you're going to be able to use your information and skills to outplay your opponents. It's a dice drafting game.
Which is why it's not going to be making my top 100 anytime soon.
Now, if you enjoy some casual gaming with friends and you want some real game, but don't want to cut short the conversations as everyone fixates on the game to the exclusion of all else, this is a great choice. And that 2 to 10 player count is fantastic.
And I do have it officially from the designers. It can play more if you buy multiple copies of the game. You want to play a 50-person game, all you need is 5 copies of Panda Royale. Now, there is one more group that may be interested in this game, and I want to call this out, and that is dice collectors. Now, I haven't checked the current price of dice to know if this is a good deal on 100 dice, but I'm pretty sure it is. But the dice, honestly, are nothing special. I don't know what company made these. I didn't look into the details, but these are your standard Chessex style polyhedrals, the kind many of us have been collecting for years. Most are just clear single colored dice, except for the sparkly D6s. And there aren't like funky patterns or sharp edges or anything to really make these stand out from other dice. So I don't know if a dice collector might want these, but I figured it'd be worth calling out just in case.
So that's it for our look at Panda Royale, a game I would have walked right past if Mo hadn't pulled me over and made me play around.
While the pandas in Panda Royale come in 7 colors, Tabletop Bellhop Gaming Podcast t-shirts come in 3, black, white, and gray. Grab a shirt of your own at tabletopbellhop.com/merch.